Yeah, I use AI every day pretty much, and especially for doing art. And whenever I do something about metamorphosis, I always get the butterfly, no matter what. Even if it's like 3 prompts back, give that to me. So, yeah, it was yesterday. I went to a psychic fair. And if you heard me talk a little earlier, you heard that I am now starting to research dr- dreams from Babylonian dreams. Well, I was quite interested in the variety of ideas people have at the psychic fair. And I went and of course, because I am now getting up here, I wanted to see what people had to say and how their presentations went. So I was watching this one guy, he was talking about good entities, bad entities, and neutral entities. And I was thinking, hey, wait a minute, that's exactly what the Babylonians were talking about with dreams. And he was using it in a similar manner and talking about dreams as being controlled by these entities that you could get by interacting with people, by going into houses, into stores, which I thought was kind of unusual, but interesting, another take on it. And then, right before him, there was a hypnotist. And the hypnotist talked about the very same things that the dream entity guy was talking about, but used a totally different vocabulary and a totally different concept. It was just kind of amazing to see how two people could talk about the same thing and come up with such different views of how it actually worked. And then, of course, I have my own views, and it's based a lot in research papers I've read about how the brain works and the chemistry while you're sleeping and that sort of thing. So you put all those together, they're kind of related, but some are quite off the deep end. The other thing that I found really interesting, amazing, fascinating is that there is a whole subculture out there that treats their crystals like pets. It reminded me of pet rocks. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember pet rocks, but it was a big fad, and whoever came up with that idea made lots of money. But these crystal people, they feed their crystals. They make sure their crystals are sanitized. They do a lot of interesting things with the crystals, and they even bury their crystals when they die, when they break. So I found that another interesting subculture from the psychic fair. And then there were others as well, but there's one person who had the tree of life that reminded me a lot of what I consider social emotional homeostasis, but they had a much more fanciful way of saying it. And it was just a good experience to get out there and see a lot of other points of view. I think if we look at what John Boyd, he always said that you should be looking at things from different angles. Because if we spend our whole life looking at a pyramid from one direction, that's all a pyramid is. But now if we come and we look straight down at the pyramid, here it's a triangle. Here it's a square. Just a different perspective, but they're both the truth. They're both reality. And if you only see the triangle, you're only getting part of reality. And one of the biggest problems with humanity is that we often have a mismatch with reality. We think we know, but we don't always really know. So that's what I'm leaving with you with tonight. Hopefully you will take that home and apply it to your week and think about it and how it may apply to your life. And that is going to do it. As always, I am wishing you the very best in life. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.